Hey Sam, how's it going?
Oh, doing wonderful. How you doing?
Hey, all good, man, all good. We're straight in here because we don't believe in introductions anymore. We're just going straight into it. But Sam, it's been a couple of years, man, since you've come to the show. Thank you so much for returning. And can I just say, you get a lot of shit online, with people kind of trolling you and kind of being a bit mean to you. But you're a super nice guy, man. You came on when we had no followers, and I really appreciate you. Thanks for that, Sam.
Oh, you're so welcome, my guys. It was a real pleasure to talk to you then, and I hadn't realized it'd been so long. Thank you for having me back.
Karate Combat World Heavyweight Champion. How does that sound?
Oh man, I'm the greatest karateka in the world. It feels so good. There's not a man on the planet that can beat me.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So you're fighting a killer in Antonio Arroyo, March 30th. Tell me your thoughts on him.
March 23rd.
Sorry, March 23rd. Apologies.
Yeah. Well, first off, I've been saying it in every interview. The dude he's freaking most handsome guy that's ever fought. It's freaking ridiculous. It used to be Luke Rockhold and then Paul Acosta. Freaking Arroyo. It looks like he's made out of granite, stupid guy. On every poster, I, the champion, am the other guy. It's like him, and then who's that pud standing next to him? So rotten guy. But hey, skill-wise, the guy's a stud. I'm looking forward to this fight. I mean, his knockout to get into the UFC was incredible. He had a couple pretty competitive fights in the UFC, and now he's 2-0 in karate combat. He throws to find a big guy like him that can kick like he does is impressive. It's hard to do, and he can do it.
100%, 100%. How is the kind of move to heavyweight now? Because now you're no longer cutting weight. I'm sure you're super happy about that.
Not quite true. So, karate combat's heavyweight ends at 205.
Oh, so, correct. Yeah. Of course.
So I've got about 25 pounds to go by March 23rd. My last two cuts were my last one I cut about 15 pounds, and one before that it was like 11 pounds. I'm hoping to keep it closer to 11 this time, but I've still got some big cuts ahead of me. I've just gotten bigger.
Yeah.
I left the UFC and I started lifting.
You're huge.
I started lifting heavy as soon as I left the UFC. I'm in the weight room every day of the week, pushing as much as I can. I leg press close to 1,500 pounds now. I never thought that'd be possible.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. 1,500 pounds. That's madness.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so proud of myself for what I've been able to do in there.
Yeah. Have you got kind of a newfound love for weightlifting now then, Sam?
I've always loved it. When I was in school, my goal was to be a weightlifting coach. I wanted to be a personal trainer the rest of my life. I just found fighting while I was doing it. While in the UFC, though, I couldn't lift like I want to because I was always scared I was going to get hurt. I couldn't get too big because I was a middleweight. There were just a lot of things keeping me from being able to lift like I wanted to. Now I just went up, but I'm a true light heavyweight now. I'm 6'2", 230-something pounds most days of the year, and I can lift and act like I want to.
Definitely, man. Beefy, strapping chap, man. Ready to kill. Hey, I saw that you've called out a few interesting characters, Brendan Schuab being one of them. Run me through that.
Hey, Brendan Schuab was all right. So the gist of it is years ago, The Ultimate Fighter. It was like 2 years after The Ultimate Fighter, I was supposed to fight Cesar Mutante. Brendan Schuab, who was like a coach on The Ultimate Fighter for 2 or 3 days at some point, was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was just talking shit about me. Like as I was walking to the cage, he was just running his mouth. And I didn't know who he was or that he knew me. But afterwards, people started tagging me, and it's like, well, screw you. He called me out like that. And then I won, so that made it way better. And now years later, people were telling me, oh, yeah, he's still around. He's still doing this and that. So it's not that I called him out. Is that I was like, hey, if you want to do one of these, influencer boxing matches, I'll do it for you. He had started talking about it. And I said, you'll still outweigh me by 40 pounds.
That's true.
Yeah. We'll have a good time. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a fun fight for sure. Jake Paul, is that also a fight that you'd like at some point in the future?
Yeah. Now he's the guy with the money. He's the guy with the name, the YouTube name. So it's kind of his choice. Problem is, I beat up his brother years ago in front of Jake, and Jake wouldn't spar me then, and he's not gonna fight me now. He's got too many old retired fighters that he needs to fight first. I figure the day I retire is the day he'll accept the fight with me.
So wait, go back to that. You said that you beat up Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Tell me
No, I
about it.
know you don't talk about stuff that happened in the gym, but this is like 6 or 7 years ago, so it is completely. I'd say it's fine. Anyone that beat me up 7 years ago, brag about it all you want. They brought me into it was about to be their debut as a boxer. And I met his coach out in Vegas. He said, "Hey, come on in." Coach Ashley said, "Hey, you're smiling Sam." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know who the Paul brothers are?" And I said, "I have no idea who the Paul brothers are." So as he's telling me about them, I'm kind of Googling, and they've got 20 bajillion followers on YouTube. I said, "Oh, they're people." I said, "Okay." I said, "Yeah, you're about the right size. Would you come out and spar with them?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to. Just tell me when." So we exchanged numbers, and I figured that was going to be the end of it. But he hit me up like a week or two later. He brought me out to spar with him. Their house is like this castle in California. It was just,
Really?
it's huge. They had an Olympic-sized boxing ring in their living room. It was nuts.
7 years ago. That's crazy. They're still rolling in money then.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean the cheapest car in their driveway was more expensive than my house. it was crazy. I was like, oh my God. And at the point, I still didn't know who they were. I kind of Googled them while standing in line at the boxing coach. And then I got there. It's like, oh, I needed a passcode to get in to lead up to this castle. It's like, wow, this is crazy. Then got in there and introduced myself. There was those two and then a bunch of other people I don't know. We're in there and they're all, I don't know, being YouTubers or whatever they were doing. And so I got to spar Logan Paul and we had some good rounds. He was very athletic. Like he was swinging hard. My job was to be a good punching bag. Don't get hurt, but don't hurt him kind of thing. Just let him work. And I ended up catching him with like a jab. Like he ran into it, which is what everyone says when they get hit too hard or when they hit someone too hard. So I just threw a jab. He went face first into it and I caught his jaw and he kind of fell backward. It's like, and immediately, and the guy seemed fine to me. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. The boxing coach, Milton was his name. He said, "Hey, Sam, take it easy." He's like, it was a jab. I didn't do anything. But and to Logan's, bragging him up, he kind of took a minute off and then came back and finished the round. We finished everything we were supposed to. So props to him. But because of that, I was supposed to spar Jake next. Jake said, "That ain't happening. Not gonna happen." So I sparred Logan. We kind of chatted for a while longer, and then I went home and never saw him again until he started beating up old retired people.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, man. You're basically the same size as Logan and Jake.
Yeah. I was a little bigger, but not as athletic.
Hey, man, still though, they don't want that smoke.
Yeah, I'm game. Jake Paul, I know you're watching. You just say my name and I'll be there.
Hey, man, we're gonna make a rule out of this. He will be watching.
I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
100%. Hey, what was your thoughts here? Sorry, on the Francis Ngannou and Joshua fight? Is it kind of what you expected?
I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I did pick Ngannou to beat Fury, so I was right about that. Joshua, I didn't know anything about him. I heard that he fell off the scene a year and a half ago and spent a year and a half rebuilding himself. So I didn't know what to think about it. I was disappointed that it ended the way it did. I mean, Ngannou is a hero of mine in the MMA world. I'm just such a big fan of what he was able to accomplish in his career, and that he was able to stare down the UFC like he did, turn down all that money to bet on himself, and then win, and then become the multi-millionaire that he is because he stood for something. It's just, I love the UFC. I think they pay great. I would not have done what he did, but I'm not the man he is. He wanted more than that, and he got it. He found out he's now the president of Africa with PFL, and he's the PFL's champ, kinda. And he's an amazing human being. And I didn't want to see him go down like that, but I didn't suspect he was going to win.
I mean, he got 20 million, so
he did. I mean, that's all we know about. I'm sure he made more. I mean, a lot more in the head on the back end.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. And it's crazy. Like a few years ago, Dana was like, I don't know why Francis thinks he's got this big money fight. And to be honest, it wasn't obvious to anyone at the time. So, yeah, props to Francis, man.
A lot of MMA guys didn't like hearing it. Like Ngannou, it's not that he's super technical or super. He just looks intimidating, and it's Kimbo Slice kind of had the same thing. Ngannou's way better than Kimbo, but Kimbo, people wanted to see him fight because he looked the way he did. Ngannou, people wanted to see him fight because he looked like he did. They follow him. I mean, the MMA guys will support their own. They followed McGregor over to watch him lose to Floyd. They followed Ngannou over to lose to Tyson and Anthony. I've met Ngannou a couple times. I'm a huge fan. He's the man.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. You mentioned also Darren Till. Tell me the story with that. I want to know.
Yeah. So honestly, I needed someone to call out. Karate Combat is such an up-and-coming league. There's not a lot of names that people know about. The guy I fought was Ross Levine. I saw a post at some point, him talking, hey, Darren Till, come on over and I'll beat you up, or something along those lines. And so I got up there with the microphone, and Darren Till, I met him years ago. I fought over in Poland, and I lost. It was a real short notice fight, real big weight cut. And after he beat Cowboy Cerrone. After the fight, we were in the back room or wherever, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey, I'm sorry about the loss. Keep your head up." And he was a very genuine moment I had with him. So I never thought anything but great things about him. And then his Instagram keeps getting deleted because he's such a troll. And he's so much fun. I'll follow every account he has. He's just so much fun on that. And so I got the opportunity the thought was put in my head from Ross Levine, and I said, you know what? Screw it, I'm calling out Darren Till. We'll have a hell of a time doing this.
Yeah. I mean, Darren's just a funny character, man. We was actually meant to have him on, and he's just, come on, Darren, what are you doing? Just so hard to get a hold of him through messages, but he's funny, man. Even when I was just messaging in the DMs, he's just a funny bloke, isn't he?
He is. He DM'd me a couple times. He wrote something. I said, just sign the contract. He said, tell Karate Combat to pay me, and then I'll sign whatever you want. So, fair enough, bro.
That's awesome. Sam, I've got one final question for you. It's probably something that you've never been asked for, but what would you rather do? Yeah, would you rather never smile again, so you're not allowed to smile, or you can never watch combat sports the rest of your life? You've got to pick one.
I'll never watch combat sports the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's too difficult.
It is my life, but I am smiling, Sam. I am a happy guy. You're gonna stop me from smiling. You're gonna have to sew my mouth shut. Now I'll learn from my wife. I'll do it with my eyes. I'll find a way to smile with my eyes. It couldn't happen. I would turn it down. As much as I love combat sports, it's not who I am.
Yeah. I'm a smiley guy, man. I think you actually topped me by quite a bit. So it's awesome.
And we can be smiling together.
Exactly. But Sam, you've been great. Thank you so much for coming on. And guys, just obviously make sure to check him out. He'll be fighting March the 23rd against the killer and Antonio Arroyo. But we're going to give you the final words, Sam. Shout out whoever you need to shout out. Plug whatever you need to plug. Go for it, man. It's your spotlight.
Yeah. Hey, follow me on TikTok and YouTube. I'm growing my TikTok or my YouTube big time. I love TikTok, but it's going to get canceled or something. Follow me on YouTube. I'm having so much fun with the longer format videos. I get to do so much more with them. So give me a follow there, guys. I would love to grow that account with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sam. You're the man.
Hey, have a good one, my friend.
Thank you.